Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Dark Lord of Memes podcast. I am your host, Dark Lord Ainz, and I'm here joined once again for episode 4 of the podcast with the lovely Albedo. Albedo, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing fantastic. I got our baby in my lap, little Miss Luna Baboona.
Yeah, she is just loving that blanket. She is just so cozy.
She loves blankets. She's just purring up a storm over here.
Yeah, she loves her mama for sure.
Yeah, I love her.
But yeah, I'm glad that we get to record this episode today because I'm very excited for the topics that we have lined up. But before we get into the show, I just want to give a quick shout out to the top fans over on our Facebook page, which is doing very well. I just want to give them some recognition because they are, they're top fans for a reason. And I just want to, they support the page and they support us. So I just want to return the favor by giving them a quick shout out. So I just want to give a quick little shout out to the top fans over on the Facebook page. And if you were not if you haven't liked the Facebook page, make sure to go over and like the Dark Lord of Memes podcast page. All you got to do is go to facebook.com/Dark Lord Ainz. That's AINZ. And that'll take you right to our page. Or you can just use the search bar up top and just type in Dark Lord of Memes. And our page will pop up. But we got a couple of new top fans. But I'm just going to go through the entire list. So just want to give a shout out to Antonio, Chris, Auntie, Eli, William, Mike, Ricky, Joshua, Corin, Andrew, Riley, Bailey, my boy Adam, and Paladin something. Thank you guys for being this week's top fans of the Dark Lord of Memes podcast or Facebook page, excuse me. Just wanted to give you guys that quick shout out. And thank you for supporting the show and supporting the page. So, this week's episode, we're going to be opening up with a great story. Well, it turned out it was a sad story that it's starting to take a positive turn. And you may be familiar with it. This is going to be the story of Quaden Bayles, who is the 9-year-old, I believe, from Australia, who's been in the news recently, all over social media. And we just want to cover his, background, his story a little bit. We want to share that with you guys. And also just our thoughts and feelings in the whole situation. And because everyone's talking about it, so I figured we'd give our 2 cents as well. So I'm going to toss it over to Albedo. Albedo, I know you know, about the, situation or whatever. And so, yeah, just tell us what you know.
Well, this little boy, obviously when I saw the video, I was kind of that's extremely heartbreaking that a 9-year-old, let alone a 9-year-old with a disability, is crying about wanting to kill himself due to the fact that he's getting bullied, in person by people his age, even adults. His mother's spoken out about adults making comments in public about his appearance and such. And then for her to post that on social media and having such a drastic, people are dragging this little 9-year-old boy.
It's sad.
It's
man.
Not just the fact that he's 9 years old. 9-year-olds should not be dragged on social media regardless, But now you're taking,
Not only just a 9-year-old, but a 9-year-old with dwarfism.
Yeah, that's definitely gonna, And then there's a...
She's playing with your necklace.
There's a comedian on Facebook. I don't know. There's a comedian on Facebook not a comedian on Facebook, but a comedian that has dwarfism, who donated money for him to be able to go to, Disney World and everything, or Disneyland.
Yeah.
Just to, bring up his spirits and stuff. So there are people, so obviously, this is high profile. And that being said, like, people aren't responding or reacting to it, like, in a positive way. And I keep seeing people making fun of a poor little 9-year-old, you know, people, like, dragging him online and just making fun of him, like, and then not to mention the lies that are being spread about him being, like, 18 years old or him being an adult, like, finessing people and stuff. Like, no, he's not scamming anybody, you know? He's just an innocent 9-year-old that's getting bullied. You know, there's no reason for people online or in person, like, to make comments like that towards a little 9-year-old.
Yeah.
And then there's been people debunking, like, the claim that he's 18. Like, he's been on the news. Like, he's not just some random kid that just blew up out of nowhere, you know? He's, his mom's been an advocate trying to get people to, like, know about his condition and stuff. And she's been documenting his journey. And there's been, like, news reports about when he was, like, 4 getting surgery done so he didn't have to be confined to a wheelchair. When he was 6 years old, he got a dog with dwarfism to try to help boost his confidence, and he was really happy. Like, you see that little smile on that 6-year-old boy's face, like, half his teeth are, like...
So was he 6 when he got the dog? Or
yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
So when he was 6, I believe, he got that puppy, and it helped, like, boost his confidence, and now here he is at 9 years old wanting to die because he's getting bullied, people are making fun of him. And then to have, you know, that video that mom wants to put out and, like, get people to realize bullying's an issue, and then...
I guarantee you the response that was given was not what she was expecting at all.
Not at all. Like,
yeah.
I read those comments from, like, grown people.
It is insane.
It's insane. Like, how do you hold so much hatred in your heart that you have to bully a 9-year-old?
And doesn't it just make you, like... you gotta ask the question then, like... Us as a society, and humanity as a whole, it just, like, really...
is disgusting.
It is. It's, like, it makes you think, like, who are the people that I associate with? Like, are there people, like, I personally know? And I know there are people that I personally know who, like, are a part of this, like, group of people attacking this kid. And I'm just, like...
Like, I know...
It makes you, like, sit back and think a little bit, like... What's wrong with people?
Yeah, like, how do you sit there on your high horse and bully, like, an innocent child that's already, like, wanting to die? Like, if we see that poor kid in the news and shit, I bet you people still aren't even going to be like, oh, I'm so sorry, like, that poor kid, blah, blah, blah. They're still going to be like, well, I'm trying to find excuses.
Well, I heard he was 18. I read this article. He was 18 and he was wearing all this.
And it wasn't
Gucci
even an article.
Yeah.
It was just a post on Facebook that everyone.
But that's what people will
took
say.
And ran with it.
Yeah, that's what people will say. And
any article that you read on that boy will tell you, like, he's a child. Like, you look at all of his pictures, he's a child. Like, no grown person's gonna have, like, baby teeth and shit, you know?
Exactly. And he was obviously he was 9, like all kids when, like, they're going through, like, their elementary years, and he started, like, losing teeth and stuff.
Yeah.
And so, like, he just looked like a little kid, like, going through, like, losing his teeth and stuff. And I saw people making comments about that, which was really disgusting too. Whereas, like I'm sorry, but when I was 9 years old, I was also losing my teeth too. Like,
yeah, I mean,
I was just, like, starting to lose my, like, it's whatever.
But. I mean, I remember being in, like, 1st or 2nd grade and, like, not having any of my front teeth.
And just the hatred that was, like, poured onto this kid was, like...
Yeah, and then, like, all the jokes that people are making, comparing him to, like, Sheen when Sheen had, like, brain powers or whatever.
Oh, my God.
Like, that is so disgusting. How are you going to
Yeah.
take a 9-year-old that has dwarfism and just say, oh, yeah, you
like,
just...
And here's the thing, like, I obviously, like, I'm a memer. Like, I mean, this whole show is based around the fact of the meme page and stuff.
I say messed up stuff too, and I post the line sometimes.
Yeah, and I post, like, outrageous stuff too. And if if you like the page, like, you know the kind of shit posts that we do. So,
yeah.
Like, this is a person who's, like, who has I have a very liberal stance on, like, what you can post and stuff. But, like, when I saw posts like that, I was like, even I was thinking that's crossing the line, which I don't even. My line is so far away. Like, like, it doesn't really matter for me. Like, people can post, like, racist memes, but if it's funny, like, and if it's, like, some truth to it, I'll freaking laugh at it. I mean, But like, I mean, I was seeing memes from people like I not know personally, but like I know. I'm not going to say any names, but like people were posting memes like doing those like side by side comparisons that you just said with like Sheen, and like it was just
captions like if Gotcha was a person.
Yeah, and it was just like, man, like I couldn't even laugh at it. I was just like, this isn't like funny. Like it's mean. It's like, bullying.
Yeah. There's a difference between making a meme out of something and just straight up bullying somebody.
Agreed.
And I feel like that boy should be something that you shouldn't even make memes about, you know?
Yeah, just leave him alone.
Yeah, like that poor guy's literally crying on video, wanting to die, asking his mom for a rope and a knife because he's sick of it, and then for you to turn around and just be like, haha, little 9-year-old wants to kill himself. That's fucked up.
Yeah. So, real quick, I pulled up the CNN article on the kid's story. So Quaden Bayles is his name, 9-year-old from Australia, and basically, like you said earlier, like his video went viral that his mother posted, and I watched the video, and it is very like it is like the most heartbreaking thing I've ever definitely the most heartbreaking thing I've seen this year probably so far, and it just like. I don't understand, like, I was going to, like, cry at it or anything, but then I just, like, started thinking, like, what if, like, that was my kid? Like, I started putting my point of view from, like, the mother and just, like, being, like, man, like, that's my kid, like, coming home from school. Like, just imagine, you're driving to the school bus stop or whatever, you're picking up your kid, and, like, this is what he's, like, telling you in the car, like, crying, and, like, that's heartbreaking. That is really heartbreaking, and I don't want any parent or anyone to have to go through that, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I remember coming home from school crying because, like, I would get bullied really bad at school. So that's another reason why, like, something like this really does hold precedence, like, in my heart. Like, another thing that I feel like I can relate to in some sort of way, like, 9 years old coming home from school crying because you get made fun of. Like, I've been in his shoes for that, but not completely in his shoes because I'm never going to know what that poor boy truly goes through.
No one will. I mean, if you don't have the condition that he has, which is called achondroplasia. Achondroplasia, which is a form of dwarfism. And I think it's like one of the more common forms of it, I think. I'm not entirely sure. But the one thing that I've been thinking about is how we were just talking about I was talking about how I put myself in the parent's point of view of like the mother, and my kind of thing on that is I'm kind of surprised we haven't heard anything more from her. Like if I were her, I would be freaking irate. I would want to. I would be going off.
She's been posting things.
Has she?
Yeah.
That I have not seen that.
Nobody's paying too much attention to the mother because all the eyes are on the son.
Yeah.
So everything that the mother is saying is going unnoticed because of the fact still remains that her son is the hot issue right now. The hot topic.
Very hot topic. And so this CNN article says that the video has over 20 million views on Facebook and has prompted celebrities to share messages of support. So I did hear
Hugh Jackman, that comedian, football players, what we would call soccer players.
Yeah. Actually, I read that he was going to be running out the team, like leading the team out before like a game or something. I read about that.
Yeah, they walked
his favorite team. Yeah.
They held his hand and walked with him.
I believe his uncle also plays on the team, which I found out was kind of interesting. I think he is a player on the team.
I didn't hear about that part, but that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what I read. That his or has, if isn't on the team, some affiliation with the team. But I thought that was really cool. I did hear about the GoFundMe page being set up for him, and this article says that they raised more than $440,000.
Really?
And here's the thing: is like, I hope people aren't going to look at that and say, "Whoa, he got $440,000," and like try to attack him for it. Like, look, he just wanted it for the money. Like, there was never any ask for money. It was all about like spreading awareness and stuff.
It was all like an anti-bullying thing.
Yeah.
And then people, started donating money and started donating like attention to it and stuff. That's not his fault. He's just a little boy that's going through a rough time. His mom wanted to bring awareness for it, and then everyone just took it, ran with it, and then got false ideas from it. Yeah,
so apparently the GoFundMe, the money being raised for it was for a trip to Disneyland. So if you're taking that money and just like spending it all, I mean, you can definitely go to Disneyland for way less than that. But that's just crazy, the amount of money that they raised for this kid. It's just, but like, I guess the crux of this whole story is just, I was just very surprised at humanity's response to it. I'm just like kind of disgusted, to be honest. I'm not like, and I'm an antisocial person as it is. Like, I mean, I have like a few select friends that I like associate myself with and want to be around, but for the most part, I don't hang around a lot of people. And like, and then I see stories like this, and it's like, oh, this is why. Like, this is why I don't like people. Like if you don't fit the same mindset that I have and the way of life, and wavelength as well, like it's probably not going to work. Like, we're not going to be like, we can probably be like associates or like acquaintances, but like we won't be close. And I don't know. It's just like, I was just very disgusted. And the thing is, I mean, where do we go from here? I mean, great, the kid, like, was able to raise that money, and hopefully he has like a great time at Disney World or Disneyland. And but like, still stands. Yeah, the issue still stands. Like, is this, like, how long is this going to go on? Like, are they still going to be like, hopefully it'll just like blow over, and like they'll like eventually leave this kid alone, and leave his family alone, and just let them be at peace. That's like, I feel like the least we can do at this point is just like let them live their life. Like, obviously this whole effort was to try to spread awareness and like be an anti-bullying campaign and show support for this kid who's dealing with dwarfism and was suicidal, wanting to end his life at 9 years old. And I mean, I just wish we lived in like an alternative like timeline or universe where like people would see this story and be like, oh my gosh, yeah, we should be like getting behind this kid and showing love and support, and yeah, we should be donating. And I mean, people did do that. Like, no, don't get me wrong, but like, humanity, it's just, as a whole. Yeah, I wanted like everyone to be like that. And like, I mean, I guess in any scenario, there's going to be haters and like just evil people, because like, I mean, there's good and evil out there. Like, not everyone's good. Why was the vast majority just such hateful comments towards a 9-year-old boy? Like, that's what's scary, is that it was kind of like, it felt like the majority was just scary. Don't even have to take into account that the poor boy has like dwarfism and stuff. Just being able to say like, you guys are attacking a 9-year-old online should be bad enough. Mm-hmm. But not only are you attacking a 9-year-old, you're attacking a 9-year-old that has dwarfism. So you guys are like literally just monsters. So it's even worse. Yeah. It's even worse. It's bad enough like attacking a 9-year-old. It's even worse doing that, It's disgusting. And plus, it's all, like, grown-ass people. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, people that know better. Yeah, people that should, like, have some kind of instinct to take care of a child or be able to understand a child and love a child. No, you guys are literally just making fun of him and just completely being idiotic, mediocre people. And it's... And the only thing I can think to say is, like, that's the world we live in. Yeah, it's like, I don't want to get on social media and just see people literally bullying the crap out of a 9-year-old. Like, that's not what I want to do. Like, yeah, it's social media and there's stuff on there and you gotta toughen up and stuff, but, like, there's no reason for me to go on social media and see you guys literally crossing that type of boundary. I'd have to agree. And, like I said... This is I just thought this was like a very interesting story, and obviously it's like one of the hottest topics out there. I personally just hope that this kid, is able to just like live a full life and, be happy and healthy, and I want the best for him and his mother and his like family. And I mean, and as far as humanity goes, I just hope that, you know, I don't even know what to hope. Like, I want to say, like, I hope, like, we get our act together and stuff, but, like, I know deep down that's probably not going to happen. And there's always just going to be, like, assholes out there. But I just want to say, if you were, like, in the camp that was, like, attacking this kid, and just, like, instead of, like, having the, even if it was, like, let's say for the instance, like, it did turn out that he was, like, a scam artist and was, like, 18 or whatever. Let's just say, like, that was, like, I know it's not true, but, like, let's just say, like, if it was, it just sucks that, like, the initial reaction is still like, oh no, this guy's fake. Like, why don't you just, like, have, like, an optimistic view and, like give him the benefit of the doubt first? Like, why is it instantly going to attack mode?
Remember last year when there was another young boy who was crying, and he had a facial defect or something, and he was born with, like, a cleft lip or something.
That sounds familiar.
It was, like, he was, like, some southern kid.
Did it go viral?
Yeah, he was some southern blonde-haired white guy, like...
Try looking it up.
I can't remember his name, but he, like, had a message for people who are bullying and such.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he was crying, and he was, like, really upset, and he was always getting made fun of for, like, the way that he looked, and he's like, why do you guys have to pick on me because I'm different? Like, what makes you guys want to attack me? And, like, he was crying. I will admit I did cry when I was watching that video.
Mm-hmm. You seem like you're about to well up right now explaining it.
It's just sad. Like, there's no reason, you know, kids have to bully each other. And then he was getting bullied online. Everyone was calling him, like, a scam artist, was saying that he's, like, some racist little boy because, you know, he's southern. He's, like, obviously, you know, redneck.
Right. And so you said he had, like, a lip thing that was wrong? Was it, like, where, like, it kind of comes up right here, like, it's kind of like...
Yeah, I can't remember. Like, I think he had a cleft lip and, like, had surgery to correct it. So he has, like, a...
Doesn't Joaquin Phoenix have that, too?
Yeah.
And he got his fixed as well?
Yeah, so a lot of babies are, like, I
had an aunt had that. She never got it physically... Like, she never got it fixed, but she has it. Yeah.
Yeah,
And, yeah, I remember, like, Wendy Williams talking about, like, I don't know if she's making fun of, like, Joaquin Phoenix's or not, or, like, I think she said it was, like...
she made fun of him for, like, his cleft lip.
Yeah. But I think she, like, said, like, it was, like, she thought he was, like, still, like, sexy or attractive or something, I'm not sure, but, yeah, I definitely, but I don't remember that, so it kind of sounds familiar, but...
I'm trying to find it, but I don't even, like, remember what it's... I don't really remember enough.
Yeah. But the bottom line is like, for this kid, you know, I just want him to be happy and to people just to leave him alone. And...
Did you actually hear, like, this is something that happened close to us, like, Cincinnati. An 8-year-old boy killed himself because he was getting bullied in the school, like, tried to cover it up. Did you ever see that article about that little boy?
No.
Because I've heard about that one as well. So suicide statistics are actually getting lower and lower recently, and I did a report when I was still in high school. And there really are, like, a lot of young kids doing it nowadays.
He looks adorable.
Oh yeah, like, he looks like a complete sweetheart. There was a little girl that I did a report on who was found hanging in her closet by a bell because her parents got a divorce.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You just never know, man. That's why it's, like, it's really important to keep up on your mental health and just, like, making sure, like, you have, like, an open line of communication with, like, your kids, because, like, you never truly know what's going on in someone's head, man. Like, you don't know, like, what words you say to people can have what effect it can have on them. You just never truly know, and that's why it's always important to, like, just be nice to, like, one another. Like, I'm not, like, trying to get on here and, like, preach, like, you know, this, like, positivity and stuff, like the power of positivity or whatever, but I'm not the New Day in this bitch, but...
Or Bailey.
But, like honestly, like you just gotta be kind to people. Like be like your first inclination when this story comes out is not to project negativity and hate onto this kid and his family and his mother. Like you need to be projecting positivity. Like you'll never succeed. You'll never be successful by just spewing out negativity and hatred. Like it's toxic, man. Like you don't need that.
And it goes even beyond like Quaden, you know?
Yeah.
Like anytime anything about bullying appears, like anytime it's always, oh, what did the victim do? What did the victim do? Like
you see that a lot.
Person is the victim? Like they victim blame when it comes to anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like as soon as a story breaks out, like that young boy he was actually in the car as well, crying, and his mom was driving him home, and he was talking about like what makes. Like, why do you guys treat me so differently? Why do you guys have to make fun of me because I'm different? And that was just met with so many, like, people just completely ripping that kid apart. Like, anytime something like that happens, and I did read some other negative comments about that 8-year-old that commit suicide, you know.
That's super close to home.
Yeah, like, anytime, like, something like that happens, the immediate response is either, I'm so sorry this happened, or, well, what type of person is he? Like, what does he do? What did he do? Like, why is he getting bullied? What's wrong with him? Of course he's getting bullied. Look at him. He just needs to grow a tougher skin. Shit like that. Like, that's not something that a kid should do. And even opening that kind of line of communication between parent and child, Quaden and his mother, like, obviously she knows what's going on in his life and everything, and that's still not enough.
And you know, I didn't expect for us to go so long on this one topic. Like we've gone about 28 minutes on it, but I think it was necessary just because like it is important that we spread like more positive thoughts and more positive actions initially, instead of just gravitating towards hate and negativity. That's just my like thing. Like
you don't have to donate money or anything.
Yeah,
like,
you don't even have to do that. Yeah.
Know? Just saying like, oh, we stand behind you, Quaden. That's enough.
Mm-hmm.
But instead of like just typing those like, that's like instead of just typing "we stand behind you," like that's 3 fucking words.
Mm.
You guys go on a fucking political rant.
Given paragraphs just burying him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So you guys take so much time out of
without even like
just to attack him.
Yeah, without even taking the time to do the research.
Exactly.
Without even taking just like initial reaction, and that's the thing that people need to start doing more of is actually taking the time to like look into the situation.
Yeah, and
before you just pile on this kid.
Yeah, that's another issue that I have. Like, instead of taking 2 seconds to just type 3 words, "we stand behind you." Well, that's 4 words. But, like, that's like, what, 2 seconds? A second just to type all of that, depending on how fast you type. Instead of spending, like, 10 to 15 minutes of your own free time to basically tell a kid, like, screw you. Like, that's messed up.
It is. And I'm glad we were able to cover it because I know everyone has like their opinion on it. Hopefully, those listening share the same opinion as us. But I mean, if not, I mean, it is what it is. Thanks for listening, anyways.
Yeah, like I'm the kind of person that I'm not really gonna get along with someone if you don't like at least have some sort of remorse for other people. And it's really hard for me to like be able to vibe with people, and knowing that some of the people that I felt like I vibed with are posting stuff like that really makes me question. That's
the shocking thing. Like you see people post it and you're like, oh, I thought I knew you better. I guess I didn't. But yeah. Let's move on though. That was a great segment. But now let's move on to anime recommendations for the week. Now, if you are familiar with the show, each and every week, because since we've watched so many animes and continue to watch so many animes, I think we can continually do this segment for as long as we want. Yeah, we're going to be giving our anime recommendations for the week because I am not only your Meme Lord. I'm also your Weeb Lord as well, and I'm here to give you the top tier animes that you need to be watching if you're not. And if you don't like anime, just click off the video now because we're not going to get along. No, I'm just
Am I the mid tier then?
No. We're both giving you top tier anime choices here.
Content.
So yeah, content on the page, content on the podcast. Like, what more do you want? All right, so do you want to start with your recommendation, Albedo?
Yes. So my recommendation is definitely Blue Exorcist, and I told you to watch it. We watched it together.
Yeah, we were early on in our relationship when we watched that.
Yeah, so it was a while ago.
It was.
Yeah, I think it was one of the first ones that I showed you.
It was.
If not
I enjoyed
the
it.
First.
Yeah, that was I love this. Like, we were watching this in the living room and stuff.
Yeah, we would watch them and we were laying down on the blankets in the living room.
Mm-hmm.
Those are just some early memories.
I love those days.
But
these days are better though.
Yeah, now we have our own apartment.
Yep.
But I remember showing you that anime and you were really into it and you're like, dude, this is so good.
I had no expectations going into it.
Yeah, because you don't know, didn't know at the time what kind of anime that I like to watch. And
exactly.
Every single anime that I've shown you, you've loved except Gurren Lagann, and I'm heartbroken.
I know. I really loved Blue Exorcist. I really love Elfen Lied a lot when you showed me that.
Full Metal Alchemist.
Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood was probably the best one you showed me. Because I put that in my that's in my top 5 animes of all time right now.
Yeah, you really did love that, and I really do feel like that's something, because you did like Dr. Stone as well, so I feel like that's something that you're pretty into, is chemistry and stuff like that.
Yeah, and alchemy. Dude, Full Metal Alchemist is tremendous. Brotherhood, if you haven't watched that,
dude, Blue Exorcist.
Yeah, get into Blue Exorcist.
So I'm gonna put spoiler warnings,
Well, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Spoiler warnings. But dude, to be the sons of Satan, to have both you and your brother, your mother allowed Satan inside of her. No, because he did did possess her body at some times. Just
how you worded it is
could feel
dirty.
He could feel what it was like to be human and not kill things, basically, not hurt anything and catch them on fire. Because she was the only one that could contain the fire that Satan gave off, and she kind of helped him fall in love with the world, the human world.
Mm-hmm.
And then she gave birth to 2 sons. I can't remember how she died. I can't remember.
Was it just
childbirth?
I think it was just
hunted down.
I thought it was just from childbirth. I might be remembering it wrong, but I thought she just.
I can't remember. I don't know why.
I thought she just died giving birth to them. That's what I remembered, but I could be wrong.
And then I know that their grandfather was supposed to kill them, but instead he took them.
Yeah.
I use that term loosely, the grandfather. And he raised them, try to help them hide who they are, and try to get Ren to hide his blue flames. And then in the end, the twist, the last couple episodes, dude, what you see in that, and you see Yukio's true power, you already know that dude's a genius. You already know he's gifted.
Yeah.
The entire
out of the
episode,
gate.
he's a teacher and shit, and he's the same age as his brother that he's teaching.
He's a prodigy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you go through all of that, and then that twist at the end, he's already really, really good.
Oh yeah. Is there speaking before you get into the twist, because it's a big are you going to give the spoiler of what it is?
No.
Oh, okay. But is there are they making another season of Blue Exorcist, or is there more?
I think there is a second season.
Okay. Might have to look into that.
Yeah, I think there's a second season. I haven't gotten the chance to really get around and watch it. So I should have said the first season.
Yeah.
But
if there is a second one, I'm not sure if there is.
I think there is. I think I was talking to a friend of mine about it. And there's also a live action.
There's a live action of it?
Yeah, Japan made a live action for it, and it looks so good. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's not like Dragon Ball
Evolution. Oh my god, that was or the freaking Death Note. That's what really makes me mad, because I actually like watched the live action adaptation of Death Note before I watched the like actual anime. And that was such a bad choice, but
yeah, so there is a season 2.
We haven't watched it, have we? I don't think we have.
We have not.
We're gonna have to check that out.
And it says, as of yet, there is no season 3 to Blue Exorcist, blah, blah, blah. But then they said, now we can say that Blue Exorcist 3 will be shot. The official release date is still unknown, but there's information that the new series will not be until January of 2019. And it's already 2020, and I haven't heard any news about it, so I don't believe...
Production probably got slowed down. That happens a lot.
Yeah, but that's from, like... This article was, like, 2.5 years ago. So...
Interesting. Well, we could still check out season 2. I'm definitely interested.
Yeah, I think I've seen, like, the first episode and just never really got to be able to finish it.
So... You basically broke down the story, and you said you wouldn't give, like, the twist of, like, the ending of season... Because that is a pretty big spoiler.
Yeah, that is an extremely big spoiler, and that just makes it,
if you spoil it, yeah, I agree. So, with that being said, what do you rate it?
Like, I would rate it a 9.
Really?
Yeah.
I think a 9's solid for it.
I don't think I've, like...
I think I give it 8.5.
I don't think I've really had an anime that I'd actually give a solid 10. Like...
Not even Naruto?
Yeah, probably, but... I don't know. Like, I would definitely rate Naruto a 10 just because that's the anime, like, since I was a kid.
Yeah, that was... Yeah, that was...
I'm extremely biased to that anime because of the fact that that's, like, literally, like, my number one anime because of the fact that, like, I've grown up with it. I've grown so fondly with it. Like, I love the characters and all that, but at the same time, it's also one of those things that's, like, the length of it. The filler.
There is and that's the thing, like, it is... And it's not as bad as, say, One Piece.
Oh.
Yeah. That's the thing, like, about One Piece. It's so long, I'm just never gonna...
I don't really care about it.
Nope. I'm like, it's... What is this? It's gotta be, like, well over 1,000 episodes. I can't dedicate that time to just one show.
Yeah.
Like
that would take forever.
It would take forever. And so...
And then the fact that we work full-time and everything, like,
I want to watch other stuff. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's, like I said, I think we said this on another episode, but it's just like one of those episodes or animes that even if it is great, I'm just never going to be around to watch it. So.
Yeah, it's just... Like, we both work full-time. We don't really have that much time to spend watching, like, an extremely lengthy anime.
Right.
Which is why a lot of the times I usually go towards the ones that are, like, 20 to 24, 28 episodes long.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that I don't have enough time to sit down there and watch episode 1.
Like, multiple seasons.
Like, season 1, episode 1 to, like, season 28, episode 42.
Yeah, like, because I was thinking about, like, starting Bleach, because I've heard a lot of good things about Bleach, but I'm just like...
about that anime.
I mean, it looks cool, but it's just, like, one of those ones I never really saw myself, like, jumping into and loving.
It's kind of like Yu Yu Hakusho, or however
Yu Yu Hakusho.
Hakusho.
Do not disparage the good goddamn name of Yu Yu Hakusho.
So, like, it basically starts off kind of like, not really him, kind of just starts off that same way, I guess, but, like, I don't know. I mean, I never really got into Yu Yu Hakusho that much. Like, I started it, and then I got decent.
The thing is, it's good. I liked it just because of, like...
Oh, I love the art style, though.
Yeah, the art style is amazing.
Like, I really do love that classic art style.
But there's, like, definitely some arcs, like the Dark Tournament arc is, like, is known as one of the best, like, sagas in all of anime, and I agree, like, that whole tournament was badass. But, like, the other seasons don't really hold up as they're good, but they're not as good as like that one, and so it kind of overshadows the whole show sometimes.
Yeah.
And other parts are slower than like that whole Dark Tournament, which
I feel like it just might be I'm not a big fan of like those types of story arcs because I didn't like Bleach. I never really got into Yu Yu Hakusho, Death Note.
You never really watched Dragon Ball Z either.
Death Note I didn't really care too much about.
Yeah.
Like those all have like the same like afterlife, come back, finish what you need to do type things.
Yeah. And but I do like Yu Yu Hakusho, but speaking of like those like 90s like animes, so like how when you were talking about how like Naruto's kind of like the like your anime, like the one you grew up on and like have the most attachment to, even though it does have like I think it does have like a good amount of filler. Some filler is good, but they do have a good amount of it. But for me, like that anime was definitely like Dragon Ball Z, because like just how like I am like a few years older. So, like, I was, like, I grew up on kind of, like, the tail end of Dragon Ball Z and then, like, going into Naruto. And so, like, Dragon Ball Z was, like, the first true anime I really watched as a kid. And I will say that for as much as I do love Dragon Ball Z, and Dragon Ball Super, and even GT to some extent, not as much, but still, the storyline for, like, Naruto is way better.
I like
it told a better story, but like Dragon Ball Z, I thought was still like really good.
Yeah, I haven't really gotten around to really get into Dragon Ball, mainly because I didn't really watch it growing up, so I don't really have too much of a connection to really sit down and watch it all the way through.
Because it was like just before you, pretty much.
Yeah, I started watching. I'm a 2000s baby, so.
And I'm late 90s, so it was like right before.
Yeah, I mean, I've gotten into a lot of like late 90s stuff, but due to the fact of like I never really got into anime until later on, and I didn't even know Naruto was technically an anime.
Right.
Growing up, it was just a cartoon that I would watch.
Right.
And I didn't really get into anime until like late middle school.
So by then, like Dragon Ball Z is kind of in the rearview mirror.
Yeah,
which is understandable.
Much. And then now, that whole I work a full-time job, I only really have time for like a short anime. But I really did like Dragon Ball when he was a little baby, and he just
I was gonna say
he was so chunky and tiny.
And like they showed his little Peter on that like so much.
Yeah, they showed his butt cheeks and his little thing that needs.
That's what I loved about the 90s, because they had like the 90s had a lot of like more sexually explicit stuff. Like when you like pats Bulma on like
that shirt that I got for you, I think.
Has
his little
dingle dangle.
His little dingling on it too. But like in a way, I like it because like it shows a realistic that's realistic and shit. A little kid's not gonna be wearing. Have you ever babysat a toddler? They like strip themselves.
Right, they don't want to. Right, they want to be free.
Yeah.
But I think I would like to show you Super, because it's not that long. It's probably like I think it might have broke 100 episodes, but it's like still pretty good, and it goes by pretty quick.
Yeah, I wanted to start off with like Dragon Ball so I can know like the backstory and get into like.
And then Dragon Ball Z, but then you have to like watch Dragon Ball Z, but I don't think you really need to. You could watch them like exclusively, like if you want.
Really?
To be honest, like I think so. Like it does a pretty good job of like when you start off at episode 1. Yeah, when you start off at episode 1, you'll know everybody.
Alright.
But yeah, Super was tremendous. Super was really good. I'm looking forward to season 2 of that. So yeah, you gave yours a 9 for Blue Exorcist, right?
Yes.
All right. So, for my anime, I'm going to be recommending That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. Now, this is not an anime I found by myself. This was actually recommended to me by a friend. And then I found it like on Crunchyroll, and I got really into it. And it's not a long anime at all. It's like probably, I'd say 20 to 25 episodes. Something like that. So it's like pretty quick. And it might even be fewer than that. But let me just read you the summary real quick. And I think it does a good job of kind of detailing what the story's about. So basically, it follows Satori Mikami, and he's like your ordinary 37-year-old corporate worker living in Tokyo. He is almost content with his monotonous life, despite the fact that he doesn't have a girlfriend. During a casual encounter with his colleague, an assailant pops up out of nowhere and stabs him. While succumbing to his injuries, a mysterious voice echoes in his mind and recites a series of commands which he could not make sense of. So basically the story opens up. It's like this 37-year-old incel who's like a sensei to this kid who even manages to get a girl, and he doesn't, which he kind of like feels some type of way about it during. But he basically like pops up and talks to his like colleague, but is basically like a teacher-student type relationship. And then out of nowhere, he just like gets stabbed and he's dead. And it's like game over at 37. But after regaining consciousness, Satori discovers that he has been reincarnated as a slime in an unfamiliar world. At the same time, he also acquires newfound skills, particularly the ability called Predator, which allows him to devour anything and mimic its appearance and skills. So he basically, goes from being this like 37-year-old incel sensei to like this slime that is basically all powerful in a sense, because like he can devour anything and just like take its abilities.
Like, eat a dragon to try to take it out.
Yeah, so he opens up, and that's what it's about to get into. He stumbles upon Veldora, who's like one of my favorite characters in the show, but he's only in it for like an episode or two, and it's kind of sad, and hopefully he makes a comeback. But he's just like chilling inside of Satoru. I'm probably butchering his name, Satoru, who's the main protagonist. But he stumbles upon Veldora, a catastrophic level storm dragon who was sealed for 300 years for reducing a town to ashes. Feeling sorry for him, Satoru befriends the dragon, promising to help him in destroying the seal. In return, Veldora bestows upon him the name Rimuru Tempest to grant him divine protection. So his name becomes Rimuru. That's the name I'm familiar with, and you basically, that's his name throughout the remainder of the show, is Rimuru Tempest. So now free from his stale past life, Rimuru embarks upon a quest to prove his worth. As he starts to get used to his current physique, word of his weird accomplishments start to spread like wildfire across the world, changing his fate completely. So it's a very good anime. I would also give it a 9 with your Blue Exorcist rating. I would highly recommend it. I promise you will not like regret it. I think a lot of people would like it. So those are our anime recommendations for the week. We got really weeby, went off on a bunch of tangents, but you know what? We're weebs at heart, and so like we can talk about anime for extended lengths of time. So deal with it. But it's time to go to our next segment. Brief review on the Wilder Fury 2 boxing fight, which took place last night, and I was able to watch illegally. Lit. I'm not shelling out $80. Hey,
can you legally say that?
I don't care.
What if you get in trouble?
I don't care. I'm not shelling out $80. I'm a freaking product of the internet, man. Like I can find ways to just watch it for free. So
yeah, I remember risking computer aids on LimeWire just so I could listen to freaking Taylor Swift for free.
Oh my lord. You were a Taylor Swift fan?
When she did country music.
I liked her very early on. I liked her country stuff, and then she turned like pop and mainstream, and I was like, oh.
Product of the industry, yeah.
Yeah.
I liked her when she was like genuinely.
Yeah. I like that Taylor Swift. I like super early on Taylor Swift, like you said, like when she was doing country, and what was that song I really like everyone loves from her from that time? Crap. Because like baby just say yes or something like that.
Oh, Romeo and Juliet or whatever.
Love that song. That is a banger. Fuego.
I can't remember the one. I can't remember the name of it.
Love Story. I think it was Love Story, maybe.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Love Story. Love Story is banger.
There was one where she's like riding in the passenger seat.
But Love Story was...
Yeah, she was, like, riding in the passenger seat, like, with her hair up, and then she gets a call from, like, the dude...
Is that the video where, like, they made a meme out of it? Like, he holds the sign up in the window?
No.
Or is that a different one?
That's, where she's, like, singing about how, like, a cheerleader wears short skirts and she wears t-shirts.
Oh, yeah, like that one, too.
And I'm the one
on the bleacher. Yeah, what is that one?
Waiting for the day when you wake up and find what you're looking for. I can't remember.
I'm the one who understands you. I don't know the words. I'm just humming. But you know how it goes. Everyone knows.
Dude, I remember when my cousin illegally...
You Belong to Me. Is that it?
Yeah.
You Belong with Me or something like that?
Yeah, I remember when my cousin illegally, like, burned me a Taylor Swift CD.
Oh! Wow.
And I even had some of her stuff, like, when she was, like, in the studio singing, and it was, like, it sounded so good. Like, it didn't have anything except her vocals and, like, the guitar she was using, and it was so good.
Nice. But, yeah, so, basically, we just went like that whole tangent. But, yeah. So, the Wilder v. Fury 2 fight happened last night. If you remember, the first fight took place, I think, in late 2018, and it ended in, like, 2 big times, knocking Fury down, and he was able to get up and resurrect, and it, like, stunned everyone that he was able to, like, get up after receiving that, you know, supposedly dynamite in his right hand. But I watched the fight, and... I just tell you, like, I was going in thinking, like, Wilder was probably just going to, like, finish what he started in the first fight. But no, I was completely wrong. Tyson Fury, like, he absolutely 100% dominated 7 rounds with Deontay Wilder, who was the undefeated world heavyweight champion, WBC heavyweight champion, 42-0. This dude, and he goes in and hands him his first loss via technical knockout. His side and his corner throws in the towel for him, which I saw that he was irate, and then the post fight interview he was saying, like, he basically wanted to go out on his shield because, you know, he's a warrior and that's how he wants to go out. But his and then, like, you know, I believe LeBron James came out and tweeted later that he was a good call from his corner because, like, his whole equilibrium was off and he was probably concussed. And are you over there dancing?
No, because I finally remembered the name of that Taylor Swift song, and all the lyrics came back, so I know most of the lyrics by heart. And
gotcha.
I was over here just vibing. It's Taylor Swift, Our Song.
Oh, that is. So yeah, so basically Fury dominated this fight. Literally took the fight to Deontay Wilder. Got the technical knockout and is now, I believe, 30-0. He's also undefeated. And so it basically sets up for either Wilder Fury Part 3, which I think, I mean, people would definitely want to watch a Part 3 to finish out the trilogy. But also, I think there's also a clamoring for Fury versus, what's his name? Can't think of the fighter's name right now. I think it's like Anthony Joshua or something like that. Yeah, Joshua. Anthony Joshua. So I think that's what people are looking for now. But I wouldn't mind a Part 3, and I don't think the world would either. But yeah, I liked the fight. It was really good. It's good to see it did not go to a draw or decision. You like to see knockouts and TKOs and stuff like that, and he was landing some big shots on the guy. So yeah, I think if you're a fighting fan and like, you know, combat, definitely recommend giving that fight a check out because it definitely deserves it. But now we are going to be getting into the final topic for today's episode, Whitney Houston's Hologram Tour.
Ugh.
Now, I stumbled upon this article like completely by accident, but it just like grabbed my attention, and I just had to have a discussion about this. So let me pull up the article from it so we can get like the full perspective. It's going to be I believe it's a European and North American tour. I believe. Where is that? Oh, I think I pulled it up. Oh, here we go. So, there's going to be a Whitney Houston Hologram Tour. Now, I love Whitney Houston. I think she has one of the most beautiful voices in the history of
tragic stories.
Yeah, and tragic stories of all time. But I definitely do think she had the voice of an angel. And like, I know there's when people talk about people who were like born to do a specific thing. I think she was just born to sing, and that's it. And my God, like, I mean, it's what is it? I think she has like the famous national anthem singing. I think was that at the Super Bowl or some like big event that she's known for, and just like she has like countless bangers out there. And like her, like you said, her story is very tragic. You know, meeting Bobby Brown, and you kind of see the decline of Whitney Houston after she runs into that guy, and it's kind of sad just because, like, I mean, no offense, but like he didn't look all that like. I mean, at the time, I can understand because I think he was also like a famous dancer and singer, and everyone thought he was like going to be the star initially. And he was like, I'm not too familiar on like Bobby Brown's like background. I think he was like in a group and then went off solo. And he was very talented, good singer, good dancer, and everyone, like I said, everyone thought he was going to be the star. And then enter Whitney Houston, and she just like, she's like a fucking megastar. And then like it's just unfortunate that like, you know, I'm sure they like loved each other and had good time and stuff, but it's unfortunate that, you know, after she met him, it just goes, she starts getting into like drugs, and, you know, I think she passed away from like an accidental drowning in her bathtub. Isn't that how she passed away? I think it was like
an overdose.
I think that like she was like drugged out and then like drowned in the tub, and I think that's what actually caused it. But anyways...
No, actually...
Oh, what happened?
Cause of death, coronary artery disease.
For Whitney Houston?
Yeah, in 2012.
Interesting. What does that mean?
So, I'll go ahead and look that up.
So anyways, they're basically wanting to... yeah, so in the article it says the singer who died in 2012 at the age of 48 after an accidental drowning.
Huh.
That's what it says in this article. It was an accidental drowning.
Oh, and it says coronary artery disease, and then it says damage or disease in the heart's major blood vessels. Usual cause is buildup of plaque. This causes coronary arteries to narrow, limiting blood flow to the heart. It's very common. It can't be cured, and it can be chronic.
So it can be chronic. Interesting. Well...
Yeah, because for Whitney it says coronary artery disease, and then Bobby Brown died of pneumonia.
Oh, I forgot he had passed away too. But, so what caught my attention was because, like, someone posted this GIF of the hologram, and in the video, I'll try to link it in the notes, like on YouTube or whatever, so like people can find the link if they want to see the hologram. But it's been done for I think Michael Jackson had a hologram as well, Tupac, and I think some other people as well. Yeah, John in the bathtub.
Yeah, and it said, like, that's just what's weird, because it says that heart disease and cocaine were contributing factors, but why does it say, like, she either died in the bathtub from drowning or she died of the heart disease?
I don't know. But the story I always was
heard
told.
it was like a drug overdose.
Yeah, I think she was like on cocaine and alcohol and then like drowned in the tub. So it was like a combination thing. But anyways, so the thing that caught my attention anyways was that the hologram like had like its arms looked like it was malfunctioning in this video to where like it was
creepy.
It looked so creepy, and the thing is like
it was very like mechanical looking.
Yeah, it was like, it did not look authentic at all. Like, if that's how it's gonna be, like, on the tour, like, I don't want to see that. Like,
I wouldn't want to
just,
see it in general simply because of the fact that they're still making royalties off a woman that's...
And that's the thing, like, they're, like, saying that, oh, we're doing the hologram to, like, honor her memory and blah, blah,
you're
blah.
just honoring your pockets.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to. Like, they just know they could still capitalize off of her music through this. And I don't know, I feel kind of uncomfortable, like, that it's a thing. But, like, is the thing, like, is this gonna do well? Like, is this tour, like, gonna actually, like, are people gonna actually see this? Like,
I genuinely think a lot of people would do that, would go contribute their money to get tickets that are probably extremely overpriced.
Oh, for sure. You know they are going to be. I mean, it's...
Like, that's just me assuming. Like, I haven't seen them, so I can't say anything, but I do personally believe, like, they're going to overprice those.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, what kind of experience is that going to be for the audience? Because, like, it's a hologram. So, like, I mean, it's not, like, an actual person. Like, it can't... Like, I go to a concert to kind of... For that part to be able to interact with, like, a human being.
But you know how, like, I showed you Vocaloid because I have that Vocaloid poster hanging up?
Yeah.
So, Vocaloid is not a real person.
Mm-hmm.
All of her shows are holograms, you know.
And that's very successful, that's true.
Yeah.
But it's like, that's the thing, it's like, it's a fake. Yeah, it's an anime character.
Yeah, the same with Gorillaz,
mm-hmm.
You know.
Gorillaz is also that, I love Gorillaz, by the way.
But, like, people, oh yeah, me too, I love them both. But, like, people go to those concerts to see like, those holograms and to, like, hear that music and everything. So I feel like the reactions for the hologram of Whitney Houston aren't going to be bad reactions. But the fact that they're using an actual person and still stealing, like, her money and using her to capitalize on and line their pockets is disgusting.
Yeah, and and her story was so tragic because, like we touched on a little bit earlier, and we can go, like, a little bit more in depth. Like, I mean, obviously after she met Bobby Brown, the drugs and alcohol use increased, and the downfall of Bobby Brown is well documented. I'm not too familiar on it, but, like, you can find it out there. And I believe the daughters also passed away as well. I think they had, like, a daughter together, and she also passed away. You can, like, look into that real quick while I'm talking, but I think that's what happened. So, like, her story was just kind of, like, it did have a tragic ending, and then to see, like, you know, they want to bring back this hologram tour, and, like, I mean, okay, like, it'd be a good way to, like, remember her and, like, kind of change the narrative back to, like, a more positive thing, because, like, you know, she still can be perceived like she's still here with us and, like, still, you know, singing or whatever. But at the same time, then I saw the video of, like, her arms, like, completely malfunctioning, and it just looked very, like, distasteful and uncomfortable.
Okay, no, Bobby Christina, which is the daughter, she died of pneumonia. But okay. I didn't know they named the daughter Bobby, so when I said Bobby Brown died of pneumonia, it was actually the daughter.
Yeah, I think he's still alive, maybe. I didn't know if he passed away or not. Like I said, I know of them, but I don't know them. Like, I'm not, like...
Yeah, because I looked up Bobby Brown, and then that's what showed up was the daughter dying of pneumonia.
Gotcha. So yeah, I knew the daughter died, and she died in the bathtub. So, like, at this point, it's just like, just let her legacy, like, be. I'm kind of, like, over these companies.
Still alive.
Yeah, I thought so. But I'm just kind of over these, you know, companies still trying to, like, make a buck off of these, you know, dead artists in, like, very ingenious, disturbing ways. And I mean, if you're gonna hopefully they get the kinks of, like, the hologram, you know, ironed out before, like, they actually start doing these, like, live shows in front of people. Because, like, the video I saw just looked terrible. Like I said, I'll try to link it so people can see it as well if they haven't. But I don't know. I think it's what you kind of said earlier, and what I am agreeing with is that I think it's just kind of like a money grab, kind of disingenuous, inauthentic, and kind of goes back to, like, our first story, just like humanity just being, being what it is. But I don't know. I'm interested. I'm interested to see how well the tour does. Apparently, it kicks off in 2 days, February 25th, in the UK, and I think it goes until April, maybe. I think it's like a pretty short tour. I know it starts on the 25th, and I think it goes into like early April. So yeah, I'll be interested to see what the response is.
She's just so beautiful.
She is. Like, how can you recreate that in a hologram? Like,
there's no way you can.
You can't. She's literally an angel. Just absolutely beautiful, and the voice is just what
immaculate.
It's just what pulls it all together. It's just like what, like this person.
She was literally born to be like the perfect woman.
Yeah, like I don't see any flaws. Like literally perfect. Like beautiful skin, beautiful smile, beautiful face, beautiful build, beautiful voice. Personality, I'm sure, was great.
With that being said, it's kind of sad seeing her like this.
Whoa! Oh my lord! What is going on here, Whitney? And it's
slide to the left, or slide from the left.
What is that?
Yeah, I know. Wow. Like just seeing that is so sad.
And it's just like. And, like, I'm kind of interested, like...
Like, that's before she died.
Yeah, what was... So, like, my thing is, I'd be interested in, like, watching, like, a documentary and, like, learning more about the relationship between her and Bobby Brown because, like, do people blame him for, like, her fall? Like, because it does seem like she was, like, doing great until, like, he came into the picture and then things took a turn for the worse. And it just turned into like a very tragic ending for her. So I'd be interested in like looking more into that. But those are all the topics for the show. So I think we're done. Once again, I just want to say thank you to the top fans. Wow, that's insane.
She's just flawless.
A queen. So yeah, we'll. Yeah, let's wrap this up. So, like I said, thank you guys so much for listening to this week's episode. We appreciate the support. If you haven't, make sure to go like the Facebook page over at Dark Lord of Memes on Facebook. You can find this podcast on iTunes. You can find us on Spotify. You can find us on Google Play. Wherever you find podcasts, on YouTube. We're available on all those platforms. Shout out to the top fans again. Thank you so much for all your love and support. And hopefully you guys subscribe to the YouTube channel. Enjoy the show. And we will be back next week for episode 5 of the Dark Lord of Memes podcast.